Hey, what's going on? This is Dylan with Dylan Talks Tone. Today we are going to make a video that I've been wanting to make forever. I'm very excited about this. We're going to talk about how a Sustainiac works. I want to let you know that this episode is sponsored by Sweetwater.com. You probably know who Sweetwater is already, but if you don't, they are like the coolest online retailer of guitars and musical instruments and recording gear. We're going to use guitars and recording gear because of this sponsored video. We're going to use a Schecter Sun Valley with a Sustainiac in it, and we're also going to use a Focusrite 18i8. So you are going to dig this video. Here's the thing I like about Sweetwater. First of all, when you order something, they put candy in your order. You got to love that. Second of all, if you have problems, like let's say you order this Focusrite 18i8 or a 2i2 or anything, and you plug it in your computer, maybe it doesn't work, you have a problem, you can literally call the 1-800 number. They have a tech support people on staff to help you get going, which I think is really cool. Real people literally in Indiana doing that stuff. There will be links to everything that we talk about in the description of this video, as well as a link to Sweetwater.com. If you use those links, it helps out the channel a little bit. What's really important is that it tells Sweetwater that you're interested in this stuff, and maybe they'll sponsor another video, which means we get to make cooler videos for you. So please use those links below if you can. That'd be totally awesome. Let's learn about sustainer stuff. So besides the cool guitar that you are about to see in this video, Sweetwater also gave me a Focusrite 18i8 to accomplish the, okay, so it's kind of basic, but the potential is there to do some amazing things, multi-tracking that you could do just on your desk. As you're aware, or maybe you're not, we live in a motorhome, so therefore we need to be able to do this stuff with the least amount of space and the least amount of complication possible. So I have a Focusrite 18i8 going into a MacBook Air. This is just the simplest MacBook Air. I think it has a little bit more RAM, and it has a little bit bigger hard drive, more for the video stuff. But if you're going to do audio stuff, the most basic one will work. Let me tell you about this thing. I've used Focusrite stuff a bunch in the past. I had a 2i2, I had a 6i6, and now I actually have the 18i8. On the front here, you can see that you've got combo XLR and 1/4-inch jacks. You've got a 48 volt phantom power, so this is not bus powered. You have to plug it in with the USB cable. And then it also has your level here. It knows whether it's a line or an instrument. That is also selectable in the software. You have monitor out, so you can hook it up to monitor speakers in your studio. There's 2 headphone amps with separate controls in here, which is super cool. If you wanted to use this for like a podcast or something, it would be pretty awesome. So that's 4 across the front. What I like about the Focusrite stuff is it's got the ring of light that goes around each of the input gains, and it blinks green as signals coming in, and it starts to turn orange as it gets a little too hot, and then it flashes red, which is pretty cool. Just kind of an easy thing to tell if you've got enough signal. On the back, we've got our power switch, we've got our power supply. It's got an optical input, which is interesting. It's got SPDIF, so if you have like a Kemper or a Helix or anything that's got a SPDIF situation, you can record straight digitally with that. You've got MIDI, you've got 4 line outs and 4 stereo inputs back here that you can use 1/4-inch. So there you go. Super cool. I love these. Not everybody needs the 18i8. The 2i2, which is just 2 of these things, the monitor and a couple of headphone amplifiers, and very much more simple on the back. So that's pretty cool. There's some simpler ones out there that you can get that will work awesome. I love the preamps. They can take a lot. They're clean. They don't make noise. I really, really like them a lot. So let's put it to use. So what I was thinking we would do with this whole Sustainiac thing is let's use the Focusrite 18i8 and lay down a rhythm track or 2, mess around a little bit. I'm going to use my acoustic guitar, my McPherson, lay down a track, and then we'll make some cool noises over it. let's grab the Schecter and see what we can do making some noise over the top of this. Alright, so I don't have a ton of experience with this, but it's really fun. And I know a lot of people use it a lot of different ways, but I don't know. I was just trying to figure out a cool way to use it. Just as an accent, really. I don't know if you noticed while I was playing, but I literally like flip the switch on for a second and then flip it back off. Flip the switch on for, you know, you don't leave it on the whole time. Otherwise it just turns into a crazy feedback mess. But to use it as a little taste like that, just to get a little bit more sustain every once in a while, is very, very cool. I think with some more practice, obviously, and some more, you know, experimenting with sounds and maybe some longer reverbs, this thing could be really, really super fun. I've never had one of these before. Honestly, this is probably like the third time I've ever played this guitar, and used one of these. What a cool thing. And being able to multi-track over yourself. Now I know you could probably use a looper too, but the Focusrite is just, it's awesome. The preamps sound great. This could be, if I really put some time into this, a really useful tool. So let's talk about why this works and how this works. To understand this totally, we need to start with how a guitar pickup works, because a lot of times that's a little misunderstood. So the way a guitar pickup works is there's a magnet underneath here, and there are two coils in a humbucker anyway. There are two coils, and there's a magnetic field just above this pickup. It's not very far. It's only about 4 millimeters, 150 thousandths, something like that, where it really works well. And when the string vibrates, okay, basically it causes inductance in the coil inside, and that creates an electrical impulse that then is sent to your amp. That's like the real simple version. It's called a transducer because it takes kinetic energy and it converts it to electrical energy. It's basically, when you say a transducer, that's taking one type of energy and converting it into another. So we've got the kinetic energy, the motion of the string, that is being converted into electricity to be amplified by the amp. The sustainer is very interesting because it's actually the opposite. You see how it looks like a humbucker here. In the neck position, this is a neck single coil, but this little thing with the bar in it, the sustainer, isn't doing anything. In the middle position, you've got your humbucker here and you've got a single coil here. Again, this bar is not doing anything. Then you've got your bridge position, and then it's just your bridge pickup like normal. we've got two switches over here, and I don't know if you've ever noticed one of these on the back, but it's got two battery compartments. One of those battery compartments is for the EMG active pickup. Okay, so this has got EMGs in it. This is an active pickup that basically, when it takes that motion and creates it to turns it into electricity, there's a little amplifier built in there. That's what an active pickup is. There's basically a little tiny preamp built in with the pickup or next to the pickup. Some of them are built right into the pickup, some of them are built next to it. The other 9-volt battery is for the sustainer. Now, what we're doing with the sustainer is the opposite thing. We're actually taking electromagnetic energy and turning it into kinetic energy. So there's a battery in here that stimulates this electromagnet set, because there's two of them here. And basically what happens is, if the string is vibrating, this actually it has a frequency to it, and it causes the vibration of the string to continue. This magnetic field, more or less, is making the string move. Okay, so I'm going to pluck some strings here, and this is going to be no amp, no nothing. I just plugged the guitar in, but it's not going through the amp or anything. The only reason I plugged it in is so that the 9-volt system will work. And we're going to stimulate the strings. That doesn't sound like the right word to use, but anyway. Can you hear that? So it's physically moving the strings, even though it's not being sent to the amp. Of course, now it's vibrating over this pickup, and so now this pickup is sending it to the amp when we're playing, so you're hearing it. But this, you're not hearing this. This is just creating the motion. This is what you're hearing. Because when you use this system, it defaults to always the bridge pickup, with this kind of stimulating the motion of the strings for the bridge pickup to hear. And then we turn it off. It stops doing it, and the strings die. So wherever you hold a note, when you turn that on, it will continue to move that string until you let go of the note, until you turn the switch off, or until the battery goes dead. It's really, really cool. I've been wanting to talk about that part of a guitar for a very long time. The Sustainer is so cool because it's not a pickup. It's just not. But it still is a transducer. Very interesting. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Thank you to Sweetwater for sponsoring this video. Everything that we talked about in the video, there's links to it all in the description below. Like I said at the beginning, please do me a favor and use those links because that does help out the channel. And yeah, if you have questions about any of this stuff, put it in the comments. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you in the next video.